I thank the Speaker, and I'd like to yield myself such time as I may consume.
Gentlelady is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Since its creation over 6 decades ago, our ally Israel has been under siege from those who seek its destruction. Israel's enemies, refusing to accept the existence of the Jewish state, have invaded Israel's borders and sought to wipe it off the map. They have launched missiles at Israeli civilians. They have sent homicide bombers to massacre innocent Israelis on buses, in schools, in synagogues, in restaurants, in hotels. They have desecrated wedding celebrations and Passover seders with acts of mass murder, turning days of joy into days of mourning. And they have killed or kidnapped Israeli soldiers. These bloody acts were taken not to build a better life for the future of the Palestinians, but to wipe out any future for the Israelis and to destroy the Jewish state. And of course, at present, the greatest threats to Israel's security and its very existence are posed by the rogue regimes of Iran and Syria, as well as by their violent extremist proxies such as Hamas and Hezbollah. This is the context for this important resolution before us today. On June 25, 2006, as part of its long-standing war against the Jewish state, Hamas crossed into Israel and attacked an Israeli military post, killing 2 soldiers and kidnapping Gilad Shalit, who was then just 19 years old. For the last 4 years, Hamas has held Staff Sergeant Shalit hostage, denying him access to his family, access by incompetent medical personnel, as well as representatives of the International Committee of the Red Cross. Hamas has forced young Shalit to appear in audio recordings, in video recordings, used to put pressure on Israel, and has mocked Shalit, has mocked his family and his captivity in plays and cartoons and animated movies. Reports indicate that Gilad Shalit's health has declined as a result of his captivity. Madam Speaker, Hamas, its violent extremist group, Hezbollah, and their state sponsors not only are at war with Israel, they seek the destruction of the United States as well. Ahmadinejad himself has spoken of, quote, a world without America or Zionism, end quote, stating that, quote, you should know that this slogan, this goal, can certainly be achieved, end quote. And the Iranian regime is no stranger to taking hostages, including the 52 American hostages that Tehran held captive for 444 days. So when we consider of Gilad Shalit in captivity, we must recognize that this situation is part of the broader threat posed to both the United States and to Israel. Madam Speaker, I have met with Staff Sergeant Shalit's father, who gave me his son's dog tags, and as a parent, I can only imagine the agony that the Shalit family is enduring. Indeed, anguish over Gilad Shalit's plight is felt by millions of Israelis who are parents, siblings, spouses, or children who are serving in the Israeli Defense Forces and who have spent many anxious nights hoping and praying for the safe return of their loved ones. It resonates directly with many of us who have had children and other family members and friends who, in the service of our nation, have been in harm's way. As Israel continues to seek Gilad Shalit's freedom, we in the United States must continue to stand with our indispensable ally. For all of these reasons, Madam Speaker, I rise today in strong support of House Resolution 1359, which reaffirms our demand for Gilad Shalit's immediate and unconditional release. I would like to thank the Chairman and the Ranking Member of the Subcommittee on the Middle East and South Asia, Mr. Ackerman and Mr. Burton, for introducing this resolution. I ask that the House join us in voting in favor of this resolution and in support of further measures to address the comprehensive threat posed to our nation and to our ally Israel by Iran, by Syria, and by their militant proxies. Among other steps that the United States should take is to stop the policies of engagement with the Syrian and Iranian regimes, which have not advanced our interests, but has lent those dictatorships undeserved legitimacy. We should also continue to stand unequivocally with our ally Israel and oppose all efforts to deny Israel its sovereign right to self-defense, the very right that Staff Sergeant Gilad Shalit was exercising when he was kidnapped by Hamas. With that, Madam Speaker, I reserve the balance of our time.
The gentlelady reserves the balance of her time. The gentleman from New York is recognized.